What's the worst situation you've been in?
I've got a pretty bad one, so feel free to cut this out if it ends up.
Okay, actually, I want to hear the pretty bad one. Let's go back to it. Let's go back to it.
So I go on a date with this girl.
Yo, yeah. I woke up with ice on, feeling excellent. Tell them put a C on my jersey and my Letterman. I pay rack K's for the tennis shoes I'm stepping in. I know the ops man, I'm getting money and I'm flexing.
My grandmother she embedded this in my brain from small. This is my one like pet peeve thing with women and stuff like that. Like I feel like everybody is allowed to be dirty to some extent. Like you might have 2 dishes in the sink, you know, you might have shoes or whatever. But that's like the odd day. My grandmother used to tell me from small, she's like, never ever get with a dirty woman. You could be a dirty man, but a dirty woman will never tolerate a dirty man.
I can relate.
So if you have a dirty woman, she would tolerate a dirty man, and then he would know what he would, because most men are like chill, you're relaxed, right? Yeah. You're in your bag, you're chilling, whatever. But if you have a shorty and like every 2 days, you're like, yo, did you shower today, yo? Like,
One thing,
the bathroom and like.
I was with a girl and every time she couldn't even close the drawer back. It would just get to me under my skin all the time.
What?
Like, clothes everywhere in the bedroom. I don't know if it's like related to you girls at all, but definitely like every time I pull the clothes, it could be a mess and they can't close the drawer again. No. It would just get to me so bad. It's like, close the damn fucking drawer.
That's fair.
You know?
Yeah. I feel like I have I feel the same way about guys. Like as soon as if I'm seeing a guy and like, you know, shit's just not proper like in that department, I'm like, okay, so if you live this way, you obviously like if you don't have this attention to detail to the way you know the place you're staying in or you know wherever or whatever, you don't have the respect for your space, you obviously don't have respect for like
everything
else. It translates to other parts of your life or like things that you can.
The inside of your house is a reflection of who you are on the inside.
And where you are in your mind.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like if you're not taking care of your surroundings, you're probably not taking care of yourself, and then like that's a whole other conversation. You know what I mean?
Do you think that there's a difference between dirty and messy? Because I always think about that. Like personally, I won't even lie. I think I'm a messy person. I leave clothes on the floor. Mm-hmm. I clean the house like proper. Mm-hmm. We clean the house like once a week. We clean the house proper. Like really proper once a week, but like we work all day, whatever, we get home, we want to hang out, whatever.
No,
so
like
sometimes
that's different.
You know, like clothes end up places, whatever, but like there's messy where you have like socks on the floor sometimes and shit like that. And then there's dirty where like
you don't
got,
shower,
like, food and like, and I feel like there's a big difference.
No, there's 100% a difference. If you're busy and you are, you know, that goes to goes right back to what I was saying. It's like you actually care about something. You're busy. You're getting your shit done. Mm-hmm. You know, you're working, you have other things to tend to that are more important. If you're just a little bit messy, like you were saying, like there's some dishes in the sink, like a little bit messy, normal, whatever. Right?
Yeah.
That's life, you know what I mean? Like that's how, and you get to it at some point.
I feel like the
but if
way
you're
to judge...
if you're okay with living in a house where everything is dirty all the time and you've gotten to a comfortability where you literally can just live and you don't even notice the smell of your house when you leave and come back in a few hours later, like that's different.
Yeah.
That's different.
Because I feel like there's like, okay, the house is a mess, it's gonna take me like an hour, 30 minutes to clean up the whole house versus it's gonna take me like a day.
But like it depends on the context too of that as well, because you could have that one partier who's like doing rails all night and there's beer cans and cigarette butts all over. Right?
You guys should reevaluate your
but
and
then,
that's dirty. To me, that's
but
dirty.
then there's a doctor who has fucking open pizza boxes. The bottom of his feet are black because he doesn't fucking take care of himself because he's working all the time.
That's
you know?
a good point. I never thought about it that way.
I have a thing, because you asked you have a really good question. Is there a difference
between messy and dirty?
Yeah, between messy and dirty, and this is the easiest way to solve it.
It's how you take care of you. How often do you shower?
No.
Because that's for me. I'm like,
no. This is the easiest way to solve it, because that's our next thing. like my grandmom used to tell me like, yo, when you leave in the house, make sure you put on a good pair of underwear because you don't know if you're gonna get in an accident and they have to open you up in the hospital. And shit like that.
I thought it was an accident. I thought it was like.
So this is
Party.
the easiest way to think. If you're dirty or you're messy, let's picture a dirty house or a messy house. Your best friend or a stranger says they're coming across. Are you okay with comfortable with them seeing your house in the state that it is?
100%. That's
And
super fair.
if it's messy or dirty and you feel ashamed, then it shouldn't be the way how it is.
The thing is, like, that's also different with like how deep the friendship is.
It also depends on the person too.
Yeah, how
Yeah,
much shame
like-
they have as well, you know.
Like for me, I could have like you'll text me, yo, I'm at Sass's house, I'm gonna come over. When you were talking about your gym pass, and I was like, I think I had like painting stuff out on the table, and I was like, I have to clean the house, and it really wasn't like we just cleaned what like a day before, like deep cleaned.
Oscar's like,
That's it.
Needed, bro.
I was. That's
We
right.
we just deep cleaned like the day before. It really wasn't that messy, but in my head I'm like nothing can be out of order, and that's just like how I am as a person. I'm fine chilling and like if I paint shit on the table because I paint all the time. But like if people are coming over, I'm like, oh, it has to be presentable. Same way I won't leave the house looking like a bum because I'm like I have to be presentable. So I feel like it's case subjective because like there's some people who'd be like, oh, I don't really care. Like
You guys,
Well, like for me, if I'm bringing home like a new friend, then yes, it has to be
it better be
presentable.
in order, yeah.
But if it's like best
And then you're
friend,
2 months in, you're like,
Yeah.
so this is how I actually live.
but like if it's best friend, I'll be like, yo, the house is messy.
Yeah.
Come over.
Yeah, yeah.
Right?
do you guys make
But-
your bed every day?
No.
Depends on the day.
Fair.
I even sleep with my clothes.
I have a weird phobia. Imagine you driving down the road because you're not in control of your life completely. Some clown arguing with his wife in the car hits you. You end up in the hospital, and then you tell your boss, "Here's the keys. Go to my house. Get some drawers. It's here." If you, I can literally guide somebody into my house and tell them exactly where everything is.
Yeah.
It really depends where you are in life. I used to live in Winnipeg, right? And right across the street, the back alley from me on Agnes and Ellis, right? So Ellis is notorious. Like Ellis used to be like lined up with
Pandora?
like the ugliest prostitutes, right? Like it was like fuck.
our
Like this
Pandora?
place was like
Sex workers.
social
Sex
issues.
workers.
Yeah, like social issues out the max. But across the street, across the alley, they used to sell weed, and it was so convenient because I could go buy like a half gram for $5, right? I'd just bounce across the alley and knock on their door.
What kind of fucking weed is that?
But
Go ahead.
so I'm going on, right? And like I end up becoming friends with them, but this was like a fucking trap house. Like I'm telling you, they had their door kicked in from rival gangs all the time. This one time I was chilling over there and they're like, "Can you watch our house? We got to go do a re-up quick." So I was like, "You know what? Fuck sure, I'll watch the house." So I'm watching the house and I'm looking and I see like a hole in the roof. I'm like, that wasn't there yesterday. And then I look and I see a hole in the door and I was like, that wasn't there yesterday. And he's like, oh yeah, by the way, some guy came with a shotgun yesterday, fucking stole all of our shit, stole all of our money, blast a hole in the roof, blast a hole in the door. Like this house was rough. Like there was fucking like fucking people who would be like all cracked out coming in and out. There'd be like
You're in a
fucking
trap
roaches. Like it's a like authentic trap house.
Authentic trap house.
Definitely gonna be on
So I'm gonna list my next
genuine-
apartment on,
it's a genuine
on
trap
fucking
house?
Facebook.
Yeah.
It's
That sounds like
authentic
Prince
trap
George,
house.
honestly.
That alley sounded like Prince George.
Honestly though, what you're saying about like being able to tell people like I know exactly where things are. Like I said, I'm a bit of a messy person. I can tell you exactly where my bobby pin is. The one on the floor beside the, you know what I mean? So like
I think it's a girl thing.
Organized
It's a
chaos.
girl thing.
Because I could be like,
Yeah.
oh, I need a safety pin. I'm like, oh, babe, can you go grab me
This
that?
guy's
It's
not
on the
fine, you know?
floor. No, he knows. Because I'm like, it's on the floor right beside this.
Yeah.
And it's like kind of tucked under the side. But I just left it there though. But you know, like I could tell them exactly where everything is. It's not in order, but I know.
I went on deployment in 2020.
That's a lot of 20s.
And I brought a girl. Me and you and I just became friends. And I think I had told you to come across because I was having a New Year's party or whatever. I brought this girl from fucking Saskatoon. And I was like, you know what? I'm doing good. I'm having a good job. Why don't I settle down and relax? And, you know, I brought this girl from Saskatoon. And I'm like, you know, you could stay here. Boom, boom, boom. Went on deployment for 3 months. Came back. and my house looked like fucking Wile E. Coyote passed through, yo, trying to catch fucking road
That's
runners.
such a disrespect.
And I had this huge fucking couch that I bought. I paid a lot of money for it. I'm not gonna say how much I
Couches
paid
are
for
expensive.
it. I paid a lot of money for it.
It's not this way, yeah.
And she had no. It's not, this is temporary.
Imagine. We're all like, wow,
Mirror.
Don't worry. Give me. I just moved in. Give me like 2 months, and you guys will see the real shit. But like,
Bro, I straight up thought this was gonna be. When I walked in, I was like, wait, what's actually happening here? Like, no joke. I was like,
Yes,
I hope this is
we're gonna
real.
have you.
You know what? For what it's worth, I saw your couch at your old place and it was really nice. So
yeah.
you'll get there.
No. I'm listen.
You'll get it.
At the end of the day, this is what you gotta do. The last couch I got from my place was custom made for the place,
Oh, wow.
right? And this one that I'm getting, same thing. I'll have them custom make it to fit in this like a circle. So it's gonna be
I didn't
like
even know
it's
you
gonna be
could do
really
that.
nice. But anyway, I brought this girl from Saskatoon, and she was the dirtiest person I've ever dated in my life.
Because she's from Saskatoon. Bro.
And you
was
would the
low.
fucked up thing
know
is
Saskatoon girls are
this is the
dirty,
fucked
but,
up thing.
like-
She when she puts on and she dresses up, you would swear
She looks clean.
she lives in a fucking manor somewhere out in like her dad is an oligarch or something.
State.
Yeah. And she would literally thrift shit, come out looking like vintage Chanel type shit. And then she comes home and then she moves like a fucking crackhead.
They move.
That's
on like
comfort.
You know when they move on a different frequency.
Bro, if you're watching this, I'm so sorry.
And she would make these weird jokes, but that's why I'm like, I would never. I'm learning now to take things
Slow.
slow.
Her inner Saskatchewan redneck came out.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
You're just getting to know the person and you walk into their house and you see a terrible situation. What's the worst situation you've been in?
I've got a pretty bad one, so feel free to cut this out if it ends up.
Okay. Actually, I want to hear the pretty bad one. Let's go back to
I'm
it. Let's
listening,
go
I'm
back
listening.
to it.
So I go on a date with this girl. We didn't know where the night was gonna go, but we really hit it off. And she's like, "Hey, let's go back to mine. Just so you know, I live with my parents. It's like midnight." So we open the door and like the front door, and on the other side of the room in the hallway, there's a couch. Dad's sitting on the couch, fucking mom.
Oof.
As we open the door, she squirts all over him. This dude's dick flies up and hits him right square in the chest. It was the biggest dick I've ever seen in my life, dude. We open the door, that's the first thing I see. I'm like, whoa, what just happened?
That's real life porn.
Like those are my parents.
Well, he was tickling her lungs. The fuck?
Dude, I'll never forget
you
it.
still go
I
in
wish
or
I
what?
could forget it.
Did you
but I
still
can't.
go in? Yeah.
Still proceed with your date?
Yes.
If she's getting some, I will be too.
The first thing she went white. She's like, oh my god. Okay, let's go.
Dad's like, hey son, get over here.
Crazy. Tag team. Top in.
That's
Top in.
Oh
Top in.
my god.
No, but that's the mom, bro.
Yeah.
He was like, yo, son, get over here. And I was like, that's his mom. That's the mom, though. That's crazy. The girl's gonna be like, get the fuck out of my house.
Maybe stepmom, we don't know.
Yeah. They're filming.
Funny because with the whole 666 thing, I'm old enough now to listen to dudes talk. And you hear dudes all the time talking about, yo, I destroyed a pum-pum last night. And I'm like, yo, shut the fuck up. You cannot destroy a pum-pum. This shit is built for war. I'm
Real.
telling you, like,
Real.
babies come out of there, like they go through cycles, they're in pain and shit.
Every month.
You could dive in there like Phelps. I don't care what you're doing. I mean, yes, people put down good work and you can please the person, but to come and say you destroyed it will go.
In the chest, above the nipple.
stop
That's what I'm talking
That's
about.
actually
It's like,
crazy.
Bro, it was like 14 inches and like a Pringles can.
Oh.
You were like, yeah, actually, I don't
How
know
is she
if I
walking?
Yeah.
How is she walking?
Like he said, they're built for war. You know what I'm saying?
Think about it. You
Listen.
push a child.
More,
out.
but a lot of times when because I bought a thing called the Hydromax EX40 Plus.
What the
What is that?
Elaborate.
So yeah. So the same way how you go in the gym and you pump iron and you do it over 10 months.
No.
Listen, hold on. Listen.
No, because I saw it in your shower, bro.
Listen. It works.
Wait.
Hold on.
The pump.
I stopped using it.
Yeah, but I thought that shit was a fucking pocket pussy, and I was like, Douglas, why you have a pocket pussy in your shower?
I don't need that shit.
Yeah.
No, hold on. The same way you go in the gym, you pump weights for like, 6-7 months. You come out, you start looking, you could see form and definition and shit. Same shit. Free promo, Hydromax. Right? This shit,
mortified.
it's a water pump. You put it on your shit and you leave it. It just basically fills up the empty space with water and it stretches your shit. So your stuff starts gaining like girth.
It's not even,
you know
the
what?
bigger,
It was
the
bad
bigger
enough that I
it is, it's
saw it
not
in the
that
shower. It's
pleasurable.
not-
Okay, so this is what I have to say. And I will tell you this. The bigger your shit is the less blood you can pump to it.
Oh, so it's not gonna get as hard.
You could have shit long like your leg, right? How much blood? Your body only have so much blood. How much blood are you gonna pump into that to get it, to a reasonable point where it's like, sturdy?
You gotta start taking some, like, was that nitrous oxide used for bodybuilding to fucking pump that blood in,
Nitrous oxide makes you pass out. Like you will literally like.
No.
You're talking about in the gym?
Okay, I'm the right person to talk
talking
about.
about
No. I'm sorry.
No, it's okay.
I know too. Yeah.
We're not talking about the gas though. We're talking about like PDE5 inhibitors like Cialis or something that increase nitric oxide in the blood.
Oh, okay, that
Yeah.
makes sense.
So when I think of nitrous oxide, I think of like
Not the drug.
Whippets.
yeah, like whip.
Yeah, bro. I see.
No, we're talking like Cialis.
Okay.
Those increase nitric oxide in the blood, dilating the blood vessels.
My uncle used to. Sorry, this is way off topic. But
I was like, your uncle, hold on.
no, but my uncle, he used to travel to Mexico every year for the winter, and he had a friend who bought Cialis in Mexico, and he died.
Yeah, that's
Having
like,
sex, he
hot dog?
died. Yeah, bro.
yeah, it's too much shit going on.
Imagine being shorty and you're
But he
with
died on top of
homeboy
ya.
from the bar and he dies.
Fuck, he must have popped like 3 or 4 then. You know he's popping like more than one.
I would never
pussy.
have sex again. But also I'd be like,
Goes from like a one-night stand to an investigation immediately, like,
You're like,
fuck.
did you give him the pills?
Cialis is like the stronger stuff too, isn't it? So
They're different.
It's like
Cialis
long
and
lasting,
Viagra.
yeah.
Yeah, Cialis is a 36-hour half-life.
I'm glad we have a medical personnel.
I like how we
I
have
don't
such a diversity of professions here. Everything is,
Yeah,
That's crazy.
My cousin in the States, Miles, he introduced me to a thing called a honey pack.
Yo, the honey packs they're popular now. The honey pack, they go like $100 a box though now.
Yeah.
You get them in the state, but
What is it?
It's like a temporary, like,
it's literally honey,
Viagra.
but with like Viagra in the honey, and they're actually
Or like the
you can
blue
eat it.
shoes or whatever.
They're like
the fuck,
this big.
Same kind of thing.
Maybe. I'm
Well,
not
it's
too
like
sure.
it's like
Same thing.
you know those Crystal Light packs? It looks
Yeah,
like that.
yeah, but it's
But
honey.
it's a honey pack.
And it's actually there's like the real ones and the fake ones though. The real ones are from Turkey. I tried one, I won't lie.
I actually have a question for Liam here.
Sure.
What is inside of those Rhino gas station pills?
You mean like the performance enhancing?
Yeah.
I honestly don't know. I've never looked at them.
Always been curious. I saw them in the States and I was like, what's going on here?
I have some in the cupboard.
What's this
I
gas
can
station
bring
boner pill
gas.
about?
Huh?
Let's see.
I could bring
up the Rhino gas
The
station.
Rhino?
post for me.
Testing one out?
I was in the States.
Okay, I was gonna do a quick Google search and take a look.
Let's see if
Now
I
you'll
have.
have the.
The real one. I remember you talking to Miles about these on the phone.
Dude, I don't know. I want to see
They're
them.
gonna say, "Oh, these guys are advertising."
Seriously, look at all these
Not
promos
sponsored.
now coming in.
Shout out
You guys gonna
Rhino.
sponsor me?
So, sponsored by Rhino boner pills.
Okay, so everything that I see in here, I mean,
Unless he slanders
they
them,
don't,
then
they don't show the dosing, so you don't know what you're getting. It looks like just a proprietary blend.
It's a gas station for you.
The only thing that markedly raises libido is the horny goat weed, given the name.
That's a fucking name of a thing.
It's a supplement.
Horny goat weed.
There's also like capsules of that too.
horny
Why do I know?
goat weed.
Everything else is just a fairy dusting of shit that doesn't work. Cordyceps sinensis. That's a mushroom that can raise libido, just because it increases dopamine in the brain, and the vitamin B12, which I assume is cyanocobalamin, which is bonded to cyanide. So
Motherfucker's smart.
He's good, eh? Yeah.
He's smart.
He's
as
telling me
shit.
on the way
Rhino
to
pack.
So you heard
Garbage.
it here first. Rhino packs.
I would not take it, no.
Listen,
And that's one small capsule. There's no way that you could fit all of the actual therapeutic.
Inside of
If
that.
a girl takes a rhino, what happens?
It'd be fine. There's nothing in there that would hurt you.
Would
Your
Would
clit gets
would
hard.
you get juiced up or not?
Your clit will be.
I mean, some of those things raise dopamine in the
Are we
brain.
jumping bones or no?
So we're
'Cause-
just happier.
Wait, what about those
You're
chocolates?
just normal.
Just give him
Imagine you're writing. Shit.
That's a serious capsule though, damn.
Can I see it?
Sheesh.
Pass around the. Dude, why is it so
look like
big?
that?
Can I actually?
It's a case.
I didn't actually look at the capsule size.
Nigga, that's not a case. That's one pill.
No, it's a case.
Yeah, but
Imagine
Oh.
swallowing that,
That's to
Olivia.
go. You can put it in your bag.
I've swallowed
That's
it.
for a girl.
It's an O-size capsule. It's the biggest one, but like a lot of the shit that you have to put in here, like cordyceps, you need a minimum of 500 milligrams as a therapeutic dose. That would fill at least half this capsule, and it's at the almost the bottom of the list. This won't work. Straight.
Not doing shit.
No. It won't.
Miles,
it
you
might
hear
be
that?
like placebo effect after you're just in your head about it too.
You know what? If it works, it works. Then
15% more effective as placebo.
Yeah.
I've always been curious. I thought, you know what? If it's a good night, pop a boner pill, hit a Red Bull, a couple Red Bulls, see what goes on.
no, then you'll end up like my uncle's friend, bro.
What?
Like, chill out, chill out.
No, you want to make yourself really horny, L-tyrosine or Mucuna purines.
Write that down.
So,
I don't need help with that.
so both of those are precursors or building blocks to dopamine.
Now I'm blushing.
Where do you get that?
Buy them at any
Asking for a
supplement
friend.
store. So I recommend
See you
that
at
you
the
do.
stores.
I recommend that you do Mucuna purines, which is an herb that contains highly bioavailable L-dopa. L-dopa is a direct building block to dopamine. So it goes phenylalanine, L-tyrosine, L-dopa, dopamine, norepinephrine, and epinephrine in that sequence. So L-dopa, your brain immediately converts that to dopamine, and dopamine plays a fundamental role in sex drive, orgasm intensity, genital sensitivity, and everything.
Dougie, this video is gonna blow up because people are gonna be like, write that down. Write that down. Honestly,
Everybody gets to know that.
this is the smartest, horniest podcast you've had yet. It's
He was
smart.
like, "This is what I do. This is what I do." And I was like, "You make sex
smart,
It's
but
like you
it's
make sex
horny.
capsules."
Biology optimization consulting is what I do. So
Nice.
I'm gonna be
Optimization.
calling this guy.
Yo, I got this fine thing
No,
back
hold
at the
on.
crib.
Hypothetically speaking, if you know you had bed problems, like you couldn't get your dick up.
It's called ED.
Hold on. You couldn't get your dick up. And there was this bad shorty coming across and you know you wanted to crack it. What would be your go-to?
I mean, I would immediately go for Cialis.
Cialis?
You can't get your dick up, but I mean, if it's a continuous problem, you got to look at your hormones, you got to look at your dopamine levels. You
Yeah,
gotta,
'cause that's just not good to take all the time, especially like on our age. You know?
What is it?
The last minute
It's
resort.
It's totally
Yeah.
What is the difference between Cialis and Viagra?
They have a slightly different mechanism of action, but they do the same thing. They both raise nitric oxide levels in the blood, dilating your blood vessels. So it makes it easier to get a boner, but it doesn't force a boner.
So it lasts longer too, Cialis? It's just a bit longer.
I can't remember. I think it's got a longer half-life.
For all those young boys out there who are blasting gear, honestly, blasting gear will ruin your natural test cycles. That's what it'll do. It'll give you ED. Young men, I definitely don't recommend fucking jumping on steroids. If you want to do steroids, wait till you're like fucking 30. You've had a couple years in the gym. You know what you're doing. Don't be 20 trying to blast gear, trying to be like the Trend Twins, you know? Like, you don't want to end up... I had a buddy who was 21, couldn't get his fucking dick hard.
That's sad.
All for what? Like, you look all jacked, but you can't even work with it. What is the point?
Well, that's probably why he was getting all jacked up, because it's not working.
Yeah, good point.
And you force a lot of dopamine release in the brain, so you lower dopamine levels too. So if you do coke all the time, eventually you won't be as horny.
I
If
can't
you
make
take
this shit up.
D3, would it help your brain taking, is it D3?
Vitamin D3?
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, but it's vitamin D3 is the only vitamin you actually make in your body. Everything else needs to be supplemented. For sure. Or taken from food.
stance.
Yeah.
That's so many supplements. I make all of those. So.
Yeah, I have a story for you guys, and I can't make this shit up. I'm in college, and I'm dating. Me and this homie used to roll. I'm not gonna call his name. Who knows. We used to roll hard. Like we used to roll. I'm not gonna say hard, but I have to say pause. We used to roll like, we used to be chilling a lot and shit like that. And I had this girl that I was talking to at the time who was crazy freaky. She would ask to do the weirdest shit at the weirdest time, the weirdest place, right? And she had a best friend. He asked me like, yo, could you ask the girl that you're talking to like let her friend, because you and I are always chilling, like her and her homies always chilling. Anyway, they ended up hanging out a couple of times and they liked each other. And one day we're walking to Kmart or whatever those little corner stores are called. And the girl that I was talking to, she was just like, this is the middle of the road. Like, it's like, just imagine, just for you guys to understand where we are, just imagine like you're on Douglas and fucking Johnson. And you know where the 7-Eleven is?
Yep.
Right. So we're going to the 7-Eleven. And she's like, pull on your pants. And I was like, what the fuck are you talking about? We're in the middle of the road. And she was like,
You're not even
she's like, I'm going to give you head.
At least let me get in the 7-Eleven, tell her.
What does the bathroom
A Slurpee and then we
A slurpee, eh?
Turned
like,
into a quickie mart real
she's
quick.
like, yo, I'm going to give you head, right? And I was like, here? And I'm looking around, I'm seeing people walking and shit. She's like, yeah.
You didn't want that?
I got it. But then her friend got peer pressure and she's like, you pull on your pants. She's telling my homie, pull on his pants.
Oh my god.
And he loved rails. Like he used to do like 6-7 rails, in the day. He had to get his rails in.
You mean of Coke?
Yeah. Well, I didn't want to like you out in the man.
I'm not gonna say
Who knows?
Is it rails or is it rails?
No rails.
Right?
And like we're getting head middle of the fucking street, and his shit just wouldn't go for.
He was probably watching the guy across the street,
that's a very
clapping.
stressful situation. You know what I mean? Like,
Nah, but then like we thought it was the thing, but then afterwards, like we went our separate ways. I went home, she went home, and a lot of times when you're chilling with a shorty, sometimes guys pillow talk, girls pillow talk, whatever. She's telling me that her friend said that they went back to the house, and they slept together a whole night, just couldn't get his shit to go, and I think it was the blow.
Homie was suffering from 2nd-degree stage fright. That was going on.
They probably saw your hammer and was like, shit.
I can't work with mine.
Yeah.
Damn.
It was definitely.
So don't do cocaine, kids. If you're watching this,
Don't do drugs.
yeah, just know that you won't be able to.
You got a lot of info on drugs. Cialis, Viagra, the fucking red.
The smartest, horniest podcast yet.
It's funny. I think college is some of the best years of your life you will have. You experience everything in college. You experience love. You experience heartbreaks. You experience what it's like to be broke. You experience what it's like to really party hard. Nobody parties harder than a college student.
Bro, first year of university, I was
you guys
outside.
some of those military guys are going hard still too.
But it's
Been to a
different though
mountain
because your
town.
body can't keep up. Like when I was first year of university, I would go out like Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, every fucking week. Like no rest, no go. But I would get up and I'd go to class at like 7 a.m. I'd go to work. I'd have no problem. Up until 4 a.m, up for work at 6.
Yeah.
If I tried to do that now,
You get
I'm
sick.
20. I'm 23. I'm not even like. I'm still young, but like there's no chance in hell.
Raise your hands if any one of you all in here have gotten alcohol poisoning. See, you guys haven't partied
Not
hard.
confirmed.
Oh,
But like,
I just never did.
I got blocked out.
what do you
but
mean
not-
by that? Like, did I end up in the
woke up in the
hospital?
hospital.
Oh fuck no.
I don't
With
think that's partying hard.
Charcoal pump and you got fucking black around your mouth. You know, that's not a good.
But that's not fun though. To me, that doesn't sound fun.
I think that's just
I push the
irresponsible.
limits, but I'm not trying to die.
I think probably just because nobody.
Yeah, me and a couple friends we
Trash
ended up in the
friends.
hospital and shit.
Yeah. I don't drink anymore.
That's good stuff, man. I went a year without drinking. It was the most unfunnest year of my life.
Last time I saw this guy, we were at some the Caribbean event. You're popping the bottle in the back.
Gotta go.
Yo, yeah. I woke up with ice on, feeling excellent. Tell them put a C on my jersey and my Letterman. I pay rack K's for the tennis shoes I'm stepping in. I know the ops mad, I'm getting money and I'm flexing.